Have you ever wondered how the Olympic Games, a global event uniting nations through sports, came to be? Buckle up for a journey back in time. Let's set our time machine to around 768 BC, to the sacred site of Olympia, nestled in the western part of the Peloponnese Peninsula in Greece. Olympia was not a city, but a sanctuary dedicated to Zeus, the king of the ancient Greek gods. It was here that the Olympic Games were born, initially a religious event held in honor of Zeus. These early games were a far cry from the multi-sport spectacle we know today. The only event in the first 13 editions was the Stadion race, a short sprint measuring between 180 and 240 meters. Over time, the program expanded to include wrestling, boxing, long jump, throwing the javelin, and discus, and even chariot racing. Participation was restricted to free-born Greek males. Women were not only barred from competing, but also from attending, under penalty of death. Yet, a woman named Kiniska, a Spartan princess, became the first woman to win an Olympic event by entering her chariot team and winning around 398 BC. The games were of immense significance to the ancient Greeks. Winning was a matter of great honor and prestige, and victors were celebrated with poems and statues. The Games also served as a platform for proclaiming alliances, striking political deals, and showcasing the power and influence of city-states. The ancient Olympic Games continued for nearly 12 centuries until Emperor Theodosius I, a Christian, abolished them in 393 AD, viewing them as a pagan ritual. However, the spirit of the Games lived on, and after a hiatus of more than 1,500 years, they were revived in their modern form in 1896 in Athens, Greece. From a religious event in ancient Greece to a global sports phenomenon, the Olympic Games have come a long way. The ancient Olympic Games were not just about sports, they were shrouded in mystery and intriguing rituals. Let's delve into some of them. One of the most prominent rituals was the lighting of the Olympic flame, a tradition that continues to this day. In ancient times, this flame was ignited by the sun's rays at Olympia, in a temple dedicated to Hera, the queen of the Greek gods. The flame symbolized purity and the endeavor for perfection. It was kept burning throughout the games, representing the continuity between the ancient and modern games. The participants, all of whom were men, had to partake in another ritual. They took an oath before a statue of Zeus, the king of the gods, promising to abide by the rules and compete in a fair and honorable manner. This oath-taking ritual was a solemn occasion, underlining the importance of integrity in the games. Then, there was the ritual of the victory ceremony. Unlike today, where gold, silver, and bronze medals are awarded, the ancient Greeks had a different approach. The victors were crowned with a wreath made from the branches of the sacred olive tree of Olympia, signifying their triumph. This was not just a physical reward, but a spiritual one too, as it was believed to bestow the victor with the favor of the gods. But the games weren't without their darker mysteries. Some scholars believe that secret rites and sacrifices were performed, some even suggesting human sacrifices. While these theories are debated, they add a layer of intrigue and mystique to the ancient Olympic Games. The rituals of the ancient Olympic Games were a blend of sport, religion, and ceremony, reflecting the values and beliefs of the society of the time. They were not just contests of physical prowess, but also a significant cultural and religious event. It's fascinating to see how deeply embedded the Olympic Games were in the culture and beliefs of the ancient Greeks. Love and passion often go hand in hand with competition. The ancient Olympic Games were no exception. Indeed, the Games, a grand spectacle of human strength and endurance, also witnessed some of the most passionate and forbidden romances. These love stories, often shrouded in secrecy, added an extra layer of intrigue to the Games. Take the tale of a Spartan princess, Kiniska, who was renowned for her love of horses and chariot racing. Despite societal norms restricting women from participating in the Games, Kiniska's passion led her to train her own team of horses and enter them in the Games under a male relative's name. This forbidden love for the sport eventually led her to becoming the first woman to win at the Olympics. Then there's the story of the beautiful Helen of Troy, whose lover, the Trojan prince Paris, was a participant in the Games. Their illicit love affair ignited the legendary Trojan War, making their story one of the most famous forbidden love stories in history. And who could forget the tale of Nero and Acte? Nero, the infamous Roman emperor, fell head over heels for Act, a freed slave. Despite the scandal, they were inseparable during the games, with Nero even participating in events to impress his beloved. But these romances were not without their consequences. Cynisca's defiance of societal norms sparked a revolution, leading to more women participating in the games. The love affair of Helen and Paris led to a war that changed the course of history, and Nero's infatuation with Act was seen as a sign of weakness, contributing to his eventual downfall. These love stories, intertwined with competition, rivalry, and dissent, highlight the human element behind the games. They remind us that the Olympics were not just about physical prowess and winning, but also about the passions, desires, and emotions of the athletes who took part. Love, rivalry, and drama, the ancient Olympic Games had it all. The Olympic Games were not just a platform for athletic prowess, but also for political maneuvering. From the ancient games to the modern era, politics have always been a part of the Olympics, sometimes overshadowing the athletic events themselves. Let's take a trip back to the ancient games first. The city-states of Greece, despite their constant wars and conflicts, observed a sacred truce during the Olympics. However, this did not stop them from showcasing their power and influence. The games were a chance for them to display their wealth, military might, and cultural supremacy. Victories were not just personal achievements, but were seen as a testament to the power of the city-state the athlete represented. Fast forward to the modern era, and the intertwining of politics and Olympics becomes even more evident. The Games have often been used as a stage for political protests and demonstrations. For instance, in the early 20th century, several countries boycotted the Games due to ongoing wars or political disputes. In the height of the Cold War, the Olympics became a battleground for ideological supremacy between the United States and the Soviet Union. The two superpowers used the Games to showcase their political systems, with each side eager to outdo the other in medal counts. The 1980 Moscow Olympics and the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics saw the two rivals boycotting each other's games, a clear indicator of the political tension of the time. And it's not just about the countries involved. Individual athletes have also used the Games as a platform to make political statements. The iconic image of Tommy Smith and John Carlos raising their fists in a Black Power salute at the 1968 Mexico City Olympics is a testament to this. The political intrigues and disputes that have occurred during the Olympics have influenced the events in significant ways, sometimes even changing the course of history. The ancient Olympic Games were as much a political battlefield as they were a sports arena. The Olympic Games have a darker side, marked by mysterious deaths that have stirred intrigue over the centuries. The grandeur of the Games often overshadows these incidents, but they add to the complex tapestry that is the history of the Olympics. Let's take a stroll down a less traveled path of Olympic history, one that's lined with enigmatic events and tragic ends. We start with the story of Portuguese marathon runner Francisco Lazaro, who participated in the Stockholm Olympics in 1912. His death during the marathon was the first recorded fatality in modern Olympic history. Overzealous in his attempt to prevent sunburn, Lazaro coated his body in a thick layer of wax that tragically inhibited his ability to sweat, leading to his untimely demise. Fast forward to the Munich Olympics in 1972, a year that saw the Games marred by an unprecedented act of terrorism. 11 members of the Israeli Olympic team were taken hostage and eventually killed by the Palestinian terrorist group Black September. This tragic incident, known as the Munich Massacre, stands as one of the darkest chapters in Olympic history. And then there's the tale of the Georgian luger, Nodar Kumaritashvili, who tragically lost his life during a practice run for the Vancouver Winter Olympics in 2010. His death sparked a heated debate about the safety standards of the Games, putting the International Olympic Committee under intense scrutiny. These stories, while tragic, remind us of the human element that lies beneath the spectacle of the Olympics. They serve as a testament to the immense pressure and risks athletes often face in their quest for glory. So as we celebrate the triumphs, let's also remember these untold stories that are interwoven into the fabric of the Olympic Games. Behind the glory and the triumph, the Olympic Games have their share of dark mysteries. They are a reminder that in the pursuit of excellence, the journey is often just as significant, if not more so, than the destination.